The Disappearance at Raven's Hollow Boarding School. Extended version: it began with a scream no one claimed to hear, a whisper in the dark, a missing girl, and a school with secrets buried so deep, even the walls refused to remember. For more than a century, Raven's Hollow Boarding School loomed in the fog-choked hills of Vermont. Cloaked in towering ivy, framed by crooked oak trees, it had the kind of Gothic beauty that photographers adored, and the kind of history that reporters were warned to stay away from. It was known for discipline, prestige, and an unsettling truth whispered behind closed doors. No one leaves Raven's Hollow without losing something. By 2007, the school had seen over 24 unexplained student disappearances, countless breakdowns, and a series of suicides that were always explained away with polite vagueness and heavy settlements. Still, the school remained open, shielded by old money and an even older silence. Enter Ms. Dana Ellison, 28, a new psychology teacher fresh from Columbia University, practical, observant, and wholly unbothered by ghost stories. She was hired to help modernize the school's outdated mental health programs. She was told little about the school's past, only that some students tended to suffer from imaginative stress disorders. The staff treated her politely but coldly. Students were withdrawn, many of them heavily medicated. Surveillance cameras lined the halls, but only the headmistress had access to the full footage. Dana found it strange, but she told herself not to pry too much too fast. That was until the night of October 12th, the night Marla Winters vanished. 16, clever, rebellious, and prone to sudden silences, Marla was one of Dana's more challenging students. She often made cryptic comments, once saying, "There's someone in the walls, Miss Ellison. She watches me sleep. She scratches her name behind my mirror." Dana assumed it was a coping mechanism, a symptom of trauma. But after a late-night storm hit campus, Marla was gone. No forced entry, no signs of struggle, just an unmade bed, a shattered mirror, and 3 words written in condensation on the window: "Below, come alone." The police chalked it up to a runaway. The school claimed she had a history of instability. But Dana remembered Marla's words, especially what she'd said the day before. "I found the reflection that doesn't follow. If I go missing, don't believe the second version of me." Dana began searching through school archives. Most files were spotless, almost too clean. But Marla's entire student record was gone. Not misplaced, erased. Every report, transcript, even the forms she had personally filed. When Dana asked questions, she was met with condescending warnings. "Focus on the living, Ellison. Some things are better left forgotten." Then the dreams began. First came the static, loud, low buzzing in the silence of her apartment. Then, she saw children she didn't recognize staring through mirrors that weren't there before. Her furniture would move subtly during the night. And always, that smell at 3:03 a.m. Burnt wood, blood, and rotting roses. She confronted the school's janitor, Mr. Weathers, a wrinkled man with a cataract in one eye who had been at the school since the 60s. He confessed that Marla wasn't the first. "They take the ones who can see her, the girl in the veil. You've heard her, haven't you? In your sleep, humming." He told Dana the story of Eliza Reed, a mute orphan enrolled in 1952. She was never quite right, always staring into corners, drawing impossible geometries, whispering in dead languages. When she turned 13, she was placed in a special dormitory. Then came the fire of 1959. Official reports claimed Eliza died in it, along with 5 others. But no body was ever found, and some teachers whispered that the fire didn't kill her. It freed her. The very next day, Dana found a photograph hidden in the back of a yearbook. It was dated 1960, 1 year after the fire. And in the back row of a class photo, mostly blurred, stood a girl with black eyes and stitched lips. Eliza. Determined, Dana followed Marla's journal entries to a sealed stairwell in the West Wing. At night, she picked the lock and descended into the shadows. The walls were damp and lined with words scratched in different handwriting. Names of missing students, dates, and single messages like, "Don't blink," or "She's in the frame." At the bottom was a door without a handle. She used the key, Mr. Weathers had slipped her. A rusted bronze thing shaped like a child's spine. Inside was the reflection room. 12 mirrors lined the walls, each with one candle beneath it. The mirrors didn't show Dana. They showed children, each one frozen mid-scream, mid-reach. She walked past them until she reached the largest mirror at the center, whole and perfect. A girl stood inside, barefoot, veil over her head, lips sewn shut. Eliza! The candles extinguished in unison. The temperature dropped, and the mirror began to ripple like water. Dana stepped back, but something pulled her forward. A pressure in her skull, a voice inside her head. "You see too much. You must stay." She screamed, but there was no sound. Her reflection was gone. The mirror now showed her outside the room, looking in. And inside, a second Dana, smiling with stitched lips, eyes black as tar. Weeks later, the school released a statement claiming Dana had left for personal reasons. A new psychology teacher was hired. Marla was officially listed as a runaway. When local authorities asked for security footage, the hard drives were inexplicably wiped. Only one person claimed to see Dana again. Mr. Weathers said he caught a glimpse of her in the East Wing mirror. Just a flicker, but her mouth wasn't stitched anymore. She was mouthing two words. "She's hungry," and then she vanished. "She's hungry," two words that echoed in Mr. Weathers' ears long after Dana's face vanished from the East Wing mirror. He tried to forget. He tried to tell himself he hadn't seen what he'd seen. But deep down he knew. Eliza had claimed another, and she wasn't finished. 3 weeks later, the new psychology teacher, Catherine Hall, was young, polite, and eager to impress. On her first day, she was warned by the headmistress never to go into the West Wing. "It's under renovation," they told her. The doors were bolted. Surveillance cameras always turned away. But strange things started happening almost immediately. First, her computer glitched constantly at 3:03 a.m., turning on by itself and playing a recording of a girl humming. The tune was soft, almost sweet, but out of rhythm, as if it were missing something or someone. Then came the whispers, in class, in the halls, even during staff meetings. Students murmured things like, "There's a woman in the mirror now. Ms. Hall walks different when she's not looking. She talks to someone no one sees." But Catherine hadn't seen anything. Not yet. Then she found the journal, hidden beneath a loose floorboard in her new office. It was worn, pages water-damaged, but the name on the inside was clear: Dana Ellison. The entries were chilling. October 3rd, Marla mentioned the girl in the mirror again. "I brushed it off. I shouldn't have." October 9th, "I had the dream. Static, then a girl with black eyes. She's inside the school." October 12th, Marla's gone. Window message. "Below. Come alone." October 17th, "I saw her. Eliza. She's not a ghost. She's something worse. A mirror that remembers. If I disappear, I didn't leave. I was replaced." Catherine's hands trembled. Was this some cruel joke? She scanned the room, suddenly aware of her reflection in the office window. Except, it wasn't right. She was sitting, but her reflection was standing. Smiling, Catherine fell back in her chair. The next few days spiraled quickly. She stopped sleeping. Shadows moved in the corners of her vision. Every mirror gave her a migraine, and at night, she'd dream of the reflection room, a chamber she'd never seen, but knew. She began seeing Marla too, or something that looked like her, standing outside her door, in the rain, soaked and shivering, mouth sewn shut, and always whispering, "She's not done. You're next." Mr. Weathers, guilt-ridden and old, finally broke. He found Catherine in the library one evening and handed her something wrapped in black cloth, the spine-shaped key. His fingers shook. "You can't save yourself," he said, "but maybe you can trap her. She's feeding." Every decade, she needs a soul to wear. She found Dana. She found Marla. Now she wants you. Catherine barely slept that night. At dawn, she used the key. The west wing groaned open. Dust, cold, silence, and a low humming, off-key and angry. Catherine followed the path from Dana's notes. Down the sealed stairwell, past the claw marks, past the bones, into the room of mirrors. She lit each candle. The room shimmered with moving reflections, each mirror flickering with captured faces. Some familiar, some forgotten. And in the center stood Dana, or what wore her face. Black eyes, stitched mouth, pale skin like cracked porcelain. Eliza, the mirror pulsed. You followed me, the creature hissed. Now I wear you too. Catherine stared, trembling, but steady. Then she broke a mirror, shattered it with the spine key. The room screamed. The reflections howled. The faces behind the glass twisted in pain, mouths opening in silent cries as the candles blew out. The creature lunged, but Catherine held up the key, pressing it to her chest. You don't get to wear me. The walls cracked. A roar like 1,000 mirrors breaking filled her ears. Then darkness. When Catherine awoke, she was lying outside the west wing door. The key was gone. The stairwell sealed behind concrete. But the humming had stopped. 1 month later, Catherine resigned. She left town, but she mailed Dana's journal and her own to a journalist named Claire Montgomery with one line attached. There's still one mirror unbroken, and it remembers. Somewhere deep beneath the school, unseen and sealed, a single mirror still glows, and in it, a girl in a veil gently hums. But this time, she's not alone. 1 year later, Raven's Hollow boarding school rebranded itself. The West Wing was officially demolished. A new arts wing took its place, filled with sunlight, music, and smiling faces. But the rot hadn't left. It just learned to smile back. Claire Montgomery, the investigative journalist who received the package from Catherine, had been obsessed ever since. Dana's journal, Catherine's letter, the spine-shaped key etched into her dreams. She didn't believe in ghosts until the nightmares began. It always started the same. She stood in front of a mirror. A girl whispered behind her. Then Claire would wake, her name etched into fog on the bathroom glass. So she flew to the school, pretending to write a feature on its historic transformation. They gave her a polite tour, smiling too widely, avoiding questions about the old West Wing, until she found a janitor, Elias, an old man with burned scars on his hands. They think they buried her, Elias muttered, mopping the pristine hallway. But you don't bury a mirror. You just show it more faces. He gave her a name, Room 13C, repurposed storage, the only room where the mirrors had no reflections. Claire unlocked the door at midnight. Dust choked the air. Broken desks, sheet-covered furniture, and a massive mirror nailed to the far wall, wrapped in chains. The moment her flashlight hit the glass, her breath caught. A girl stood inside it. Dana, but not just Dana. Behind her were dozens, maybe hundreds, of copies. Slightly off, pale, silent, watching. One had Catherine's necklace. One had Claire's face. The flashlight flickered. The chains rattled. Then she heard it, from behind her. You brought a new name. She turned. No one was there, but the room was colder. The mirror cracked slightly, and that's when she saw it, her own reflection smiling, while she remained frozen. Claire stumbled back, grabbing the journal, but it burst into flame in her hands. A voice whispered, "Truth has a price. Mirrors collect debts." The door slammed shut. 3 days later, the headmistress reported no signs of break-in, though a janitor mentioned seeing a woman in the hallway with no shadow. Claire was gone, but a new mirror had been installed in the front office. A modern, sleek piece with a gold frame. Sometimes, students say they see a woman in it, pressing her hands against the glass from the inside. When asked to describe her, they always say the same thing. She looks like she knows my name. In a forgotten drawer in the school's basement sits a photo, curled and browned with age. It's labeled, West Wing Class of '88. Eliza Wren, disciplinary transfer missing, presumed dead. Behind the smiling students is a mirror, and if you look closely, you'll see one girl not facing the camera. She's staring into the glass, smiling.